Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Mooky here, and I'm back with another new part of What If Izuku Was the Dragon Blood Prince? This is part 4. In the last part, Izuku was getting ready for his training for the entrance exam at UA, with learning new techniques, abilities, even learning skills that he originally wasn't really good at first, as his original Dragon Blood Prince self, with even getting memories of his old adventurers, his allies, his closest friends that he saw as family, with Mercury alongside Midgansor and Mim as well, all trying their best to help Izuku remembering them by having that of a scheme of bringing back their souls to the castle. With now, the months have now gone by, and Izuku has now prepared for the entrance exam. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Back to the castle of Haldor, with Mim now into her original form, Brunhilde. She soon says that he's on his way, and I've already cheered him up quite a bit. With then Midgansor, also in his dragon form, saying, I see. So, how did he take the news about not us helping him in the entrance exam? With soon Brunhilde's eyes widening, saying, oh, I forgot. With soon all the other 4 great wyverns couldn't help but have that of a surprised look on their face, except Zoroark, since he doesn't have eyeballs and being more of a skeletal dragon, he can't show his expression with his eyes, but he is quite surprised hearing this. Within, Mercury saying, Brunhilde, you were supposed to remind him, besides just encouraging him to do his best. With then saying, I'm sorry, I just wanted to give my darling a way to, that he's not going to do this alone, that he has us. With then Jupiter saying, oh yeah, definitely. Did you also forget that we're literally the only 5 dragons that he trusts the most? Don't get us wrong. With then, any of the other dragons actually heard this, with many of them looking at the others. But soon Jupiter saying, no offense. With some of them basically saying, some taken. With the others just, roaring in that of annoyance. With soon Mercury saying, I better telepathically tell him this before he shapeshifts into some of us. Many of us are still running on fumes after, with then Midgansor saying, yes, bringing back all of those souls were hard, even with the aid of Canthonius also aiding us as well. We would still be drained and most likely would have turned into that of pure nature energy itself. With soon Brunhilde saying, sorry, I get it. I messed up. With soon Zoroark saying, let's just hope Izuku realizes this when he tries to transform into one of us during the exam. Also, I wonder how he's going to take the surprise. With soon all 5 wyverns looking at the massive castle in the distance, as you could hear people chattering inside. Back with Izuku, he basically blitzes through the written portion of the test, as many of the dragons did want him to not just keep up with his physical training, but also with studying as well, especially both Mercury and, surprisingly, even Jupiter as well. As the guy may be an asshole and an arrogant prick, he's quite a genius, to be fair. Because of that, Izuku's studying time was well suited and was well prioritized after all, which didn't cut into his physical training. With soon, he finishes the test, as he soon heads to an auditorium room where other people were also waiting. not as many, but quite a bit of few, which soon he was given that of a, exam paper to basically show on what they'll be facing against in the exams, while also giving that of an entrance card too. Well, they'll basically be telling them on what area they'll be testing in after. They'll be explained on what they'll be doing. With soon, Izuku gets a seat as he begins reading over the packet on what the practical portion of the entrance exam will be composed of. But soon, many other people began to flood into the massive auditorium room, where soon he noticed Bakugo as he realized that he's basically 2 seats above him, with then Izuku saying, "Oh, thank God I came in here early before Kachan, because if I didn't, who knows what I have to deal with." As he mentally thinks, "Thank you so much, Jupiter. I really appreciate that, even if your teaching methods are," as he begins feeling phantom pains on his back, as he begins shuddering a little bit, saying, "Inhumane." As soon the lights begin to go dim, with then a spotlight will soon shine on the stage, as it being that of a pro hero, as the pro hero wearing that of a black leather jacket with black pants and that of black boots as well, with also wearing yellow aviator sunglasses, and even having that of long spiky hair, and a bracer that on his neck that looks like that of a sound system speaker. With then Izuku realized on who this man is. "Yo, my fellow entrancees, how are you all doing? Come on, are you all hype? Let me hear it." With soon the entire auditorium was completely quiet, saying, "Trying to keep it mellow. Okay, I can work with that. My name is President Mike." With Izuku wanting to fanboy over the, sound hero, as he listens to his radio show all the time during studying, and also on his way here from home after all. However, realizing that he was fanboying, he soon, calmed himself down. With then, President Mike began explaining the, practical portion of the entrance exam that they'll be facing against villains, with many of the students getting somewhat worried, while some are actually somewhat getting excited, saying, don't worry, it's not actual villains, they're robots. Each robot is designated by that of points." With soon on that of a monitor and behind President Mike, as it shows that of 4 robots. They range from 1-pointer, 2-pointer, and 3-pointers. The more robots you take, the more points you get. Basically, within Izuku began thinking, I see. So it depends. The more the robots have points, the more dangerous they are. I get it. And not only that, you'll be facing against in urban battlefields. This year's field will be in a city area where you'll be separated into different zones. With soon, Izuku was saying, I see. It looks like I'm in Zone C. As he soon looks up and sees Bakugo, as he's saying, I wonder what zone Kachan got. If we're in the same zone, then maybe. As he grips his fist before saying, no, don't worry about it. Kachan is not important at all. Right now, I just need a pass. With soon, President Mike saying, but also remember, you can't attack your fellow participants in the exam either. If you do, that is totally unheroic. And not only that, you'll be disqualified from the exam automatically. Your points would be nullified. With then hearing this, Bakugo getting that of annoyed, saying, damn it. And I was really looking forward to putting the nerd in his place if we were going to the same area. As part of him is still a little bit annoyed at the fact that every chance that during the 10 months before going to UA that, well, he still hasn't put Izuku in his place, as Izuku keeps dodging every attempt that he gets at trying to intimidate him from not taking the exam. And not only that, what does he see? He sees Izuku in the same auditorium room taking the exact same exam as him. With that, he really is starting to get annoyed and pissed at the nerd. Given that the sludge villain attack never really happened after all, and Bakugo continues getting the praise and continues arrogantly believing that he is the best, and seeing Izuku basically becoming different, not only a bit taller, but also a bit buffer and also a lot more confident in himself, is starting to piss him off. That somebody that was always beneath him, somebody that was always behind him, is now trying to reach the same level as him. So a heads up, again, Bakugo is going to be a lot more aggressive at Izuku and everyone else as well. So be prepared for that, guys. With soon, a person raises their hand up at President Mike saying, "I have a question, sir." With soon, President Mike saying, "Hit me. What do you want to say, caller?" With then soon saying, "My name is Tenya Ida, and I would like to say this: if you only bring up 3 robots, you didn't say anything about the 4th one, and it doesn't say anything about it on this test sheet either. This is unqualifiable for a prestigious school such as UA. We should expect something better from the best school in all of Japan." And soon he points at somebody on his row saying, "And you," as a couple seats on his left, as it being Izuku, saying, "Me?" Saying, "You have been muttering this entire time. And if you're not going to take this seriously, then you should leave." With soon Izuku hearing this before saying, "And what makes you think I wasn't?" With then saying, "What? My muttering could be me trying to analyze things from a more logical point of view. Instead of you blurting out on why you're annoyed on President Mike hasn't explained the 4th robot, he probably was just about to explain that instead of you trying to bring it up. So please calm yourself. And nobody else hasn't brought up the fact about me muttering." With Sue, Izuku says this with his arms crossed and everybody looking at Ida with laughter instead of Izuku being laughed at, as he stood up for himself after all. With soon Izuku saying, "That took a lot out of me." Unlike Kachan, who was basically a ball of freaking arrogance and anger and living anger, this guy is a lot more serious and stiff. I can tell he doesn't seem like a bad guy, just way too serious for his own good. With then soon President Mike saying, "All right, calm yourself. As for your answer, I was just as the kid said, I was just about to explain the 4th robot. The 4th robot is worth no points." With then everybody getting confused at this. Soon even Izuku as well, as he raises an eyebrow. With President Mike continues saying, "It's worth no points, like I said. Basically, think of it as more of an obstacle. It's a foe. It's basically an unstoppable foe that your job is to basically run away from. And in a way, it's a villain that you can't defeat, and you need to wait on backup or retreat. You could still fight it, but there'd just be no point of it after all." Hearing this, Ida saying, "I see. Thank you for your explanation, sir, and my apologies." With Ida bowing his head before taking his seat once again. With then Izuku saying, "Really? They're just going to give us a robot that's worth no points. Just like that. That makes no sense. There has to be a real reason on why this robot is worth 0 points besides it just being an obstacle. Unless..." With then Izuku continued thinking before President Mike got his attention saying, "All right, that settles everything here. You should all prepare for the entrance exam and go to your designated bus to go to the practice site. And all I gotta say is, in the proud words of Napoleon Bonaparte, a true hero is the one that can face down all adversities. And here at this school, we go even beyond that. Plus, Ultra! Let me hear it! With a few actually getting psyched for the practical exam, with even them screaming plus Ultra. With even Izuku doing the same thing too. With that, Izuku getting ready for the practice exam as he puts away his clothes and puts on his training outfit that he was wearing. However, he was carrying on his back that of a sword, as the sword begins radiating a certain energy. As people begin to feel that energy around him, as it feels potent to the point that it feels like it's unstoppable, with a few people making comments that he's carrying around a dangerous weapon like that, as a few even said that it must be part of his quirk. But one of them also commented that it's like it's alive or something, with Izuku smirking a little bit saying, "You don't know the half of it, guys, trust me." With Izuku continue walking, he arrives at the testing site, with soon Izuku getting somewhat nervous, seeing the massive gates and thinking, where does the school get the money for shit like this? Where soon he looks around and saying, looks like some people are nervous too, but it looks like some are just trying to psych themselves up. Not only that, as he looks at what some of them are wearing, as it being the same gym outfits that he's wearing, like sweatshirts and sweatpants, with some even wearing their school uniforms, basically looking like they didn't care about changing out of their outfits. Some even wearing that of makeshift, hero costumes, just to basically show that they're being heroes. But to Izuku, it looks like they're just playing hero instead of being a real hero. As Izuku continues looking around, part of him couldn't help but say, some of these people look like they have quite the unique personalities. As he begins thinking, almost reminds me about everyone else at New Alberia. With then part of him feeling, the old him began feeling, homesick actually. Soon saying, no, that was the old me. The old Dragon King of New Alberia. Alberia is gone, and now I'm working hard to become a hero. Nothing more, nothing less. With soon, as Izuku is trying to psych himself up for the entrance exam, with then soon he felt a hand on his shoulder, with soon saying, "Wait, you're that?" Saying, I want to ask you something. Saying, sure. Can I ask why? With then soon the boy known as Tenya Ida saying, I wish to apologize for my actions. I should have figured that you were trying to figure things out yourself, but instead, I basically judged to conclusions without thinking. For that, I wish to apologize. With soon, Izuku saying, whoa, hang on. With then saying, oh my god, this is the first time somebody's apologized to me. And it wasn't any of the dragons for accidentally hurting me or almost nearly killing me. With soon, he's saying, but other than that, I must ask, that sore on your back, is it real by any chance? With soon, he's saying, huh? Oh, yeah, it is. Why do you ask? Saying, don't you know that weapons like that are, dangerous? Is it, by any chance, is it just that, is the edge dulled or anything like that? No, of course not. Why would it be? I mean, I need it not to be dull if I'm going to fight. So you're basically willing to hurt somebody with that in this, and I know you won't hurt anyone in this exam, but I just, within somebody saying, come on, dude, you're asking too many questions. The guy says that he needs it. If he wouldn't be bringing this sword, it has to be due to his quirk. Am I right? Then Izuku was caught off guard alongside Ida by a young man with that of black hair, as his hair is styled into that of a long ponytail. As for his features, he looks like that of a mixture of a Chinese and Japanese young man. With Sue saying, I just wanted to. Everyone has their reasons for bringing something here to help them aid them for their quirk. He must need a sword to help him out as well. Isn't that right? Then he's like saying, yeah, that's the truth. Thanks for understanding. Soon the boy saying, and there you have it. Then Edith saying, I see. Again, allow me to apologize, and sorry for distracting you if I was. As soon Ida walked away, with soon the other boy walking next to Izuku saying, geez, guys like him really are annoying, don't you think? Saying, I think he was just worried, that's all. I mean, it is rare to see somebody use an actual sword for an entrance exam like this. Heck, I'm pretty sure pro heroes don't use weapons. Well, unless it's the equip hero Yarimusha, by example. But then the other boy saying, that's the truth. I believe that. Saying, I should introduce myself since I did defend you after all. The name is Ren, Hiru Ren. Within Izuku introducing himself as well. Saying, Midoriya. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. With Soon saying, well, I wish you luck. Saying, you too, Ren as well. With Soon, Hiru begins leaving. Then the doors began to open. As then, soon, President Mike saying, go! Then everybody began running off. But soon, Izuku saying, guess it's time. I'll start off small. I'll work with that of Midgan Sword. Take out as many robots as I can with just all at once if I can. Gain as many points as I can while whittling down the others in my human form. After saying this, Izuku has that of a confident grin on his face as the golden aura around his body begins to flow. Before soon, that aura basically faded. But then Izuku saying, wait, what the? Why? It soon saying, okay, maybe Burnhild. As he tries Burnhilder, it's soon the same thing, saying, what's going on? Then soon Midgan Sword saying, oh crap, I knew there was something I forgot to mention. Soon Izuku saying, Midgan Sword, what's going on? Why can't I transform into any of you? Saying, we ended up wasting a lot of energy for the past couple of months, slowly and surely. But right now, you can't use any of the 5 great wyverns in this exam. You had to rely on your other dragons to help you. Saying, are you serious? I was really hoping you guys would aid me. Then Brunhilde saying, I'm sorry, darling. I meant to actually tell you about this, but I forgot to, because all I wanted to do was cheer you on before the exam began. It's my fault. Soon, he's saying, Mim, I appreciate that, but next time, try to remember that I think my dream should come first before my own well-being. Soon, she's saying, okay, I draw the line at that. Screw that. Soon, he's saying, I figured as much. Soon, Jupiter saying, you have other dragons, you idiot. Don't worry about us. Soon, Izuku saying, right, I'm on it. Then realizing, damn, I'm really behind now. As soon, he pulls out the sword that was on his back. However, he's soon saying, but this will actually help me get an upper hand. After all, I'll catch up in no time. As he soon draws the sword out, a powerful wind begins to flow all across Izuku's body as the winds begin to lift him up high, a little bit hover in the air, with soon as this sword being the powerful and unbeatable Excalibur, the most powerful magical wind sword of existence. With saying, I'm glad that I was able to get this from the workshop. Good thing I was able to find a way to remove all the seals on it. With then his eyes begin to glow, that of Dragonic. However, they're not in that of an existing dragon of his, as it's being his own Dragonic energy. Saying, all right, let's do this! As he soon flies into the entrance exam, as many participants already began destroying plenty of robots, from 1-pointers, 2-pointers, and 3-pointers. As soon, Ida also kicking a 2-point robot with a powerful drop kick, with soon he removing some sweat from his brows, where soon a powerful gust of wind was already past him. Before, the robots that were around him that weren't destroyed were cut up into that of scrap metal, with Soon saying, what in the world? With then a brunette-haired girl with that of a bob cut hairstyle, with that of rosy cheeks, began feeling somewhat tired as well, before a couple of robots being that of sliced up around her, without her realizing it before it was too late, with saying, where did... As for Hiru Ren, he was also taking out many robots. However, his body is one of his right arms and left arms were coated in scales, as they almost look like dragon scales, as he cleaves through a couple of robots with his scaled arms, before soon seeing a couple other robots behind and in front of him being sliced up as well, from that of winds blasting right past him, saying, unbelievable. What kind of quirk is that? Some kind of wind quirk? And who could have? Before soon, the winds died down a bit, as then he looks up into the air and he sees Izuku, saying, Midoriya, wait, is that his quirk? To control the winds? And I'm guessing that sword helps him as well. With then Izuku looking around, thinking, all right, from the robots I've been able to take out now, I've taken out at least 5 1-point robots, 3 2-point robots, and at least 2 3-point robots. If I need to find more. If I don't, I'm most likely going to be screwed. With then, he soon sees one of the participants about to get hit by one of the robots. As then, Izuku soars down and slicing through the robot with one solitary slash. As then, the winds begin to cleave it all over its body as it turns into scrap metal. Where soon, he's saying, are you okay? But then the participant saying, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for your help. With saying, you should get to safety. There are some robots you may be strong enough to take on, but not all. With soon saying, hey, are you just only saying that so you can get more points? Saying, I'm not. I'm just telling you to know your limits. With soon, a robot sends out that of a missile. With just pointing the sword right at the missile, the wind began to cut it up with soon it explodes as the smoke clears from the wind itself, before screaming out, Oklahoma slash! As then a wave of pure wind magic was sent at the 3-pointer, cutting right through it with one solitary slash. With soon it continues going forward, slicing through a couple other robots, being that of 2 2-point robots and another 3-point robot. As Izuku's thinking, wow, I didn't even expect that. Huh. Within, the other participants seeing this saying, dude, what kind of quirk do you have? With soon Izuku looking at the guy as he's soon saying, quite the crazy quirk, if I do say so. With then soon Hiruren alongside Ida seeing at Izuku, with Hiruren saying, Midoriya, that quirk of his, it's really something else. With then Ida saying, he seemed nervous and worried, and yet he doesn't look like he's completely and utterly worried at all. Not only that, the way he's fighting, it's almost like second nature for him. In the monitoring room, where many of the teachers are looking at all the participants in each zone, as many of them are impressed with some taking the advantage at taking on many robots, some using strategy and traps to gain the advantage against robots, while some are actually working together, even though they've never really met each other, to take out robots. However, many people began looking at two participants, one being Katsuki Bakugo, as he basically ruthlessly destroying each and every robot with no mercy, and the other being Izuku, as he cuts down robots without even breaking a sweat with his wind magic, as many of the teachers couldn't help but be impressed at Izuku and Bakugo's performance, as they also see that Izuku is helping out many participants who are struggling with robots that they can't handle with suit. However, one of the people in the monitoring room, or rather two people, aren't even in one of in any seats, as one of them being that of a man in a black jumpsuit with a utility belt and a scarf wrapped around him, and having that of messy long hair with a 5 o'clock shadow, as he has that of an uninterested look on his face. As for the other person, well, they're actually caught off guard as they're looking straight at Izuku, as they are wearing that of a red kepio dress with that of a headband that looks like that of dragon wings, and blonde hair with that as what really shines is her sharp teeth, as her eyes feel like she's basically seeing something that she would never see in her entire life. Within, the man saying, Ryukuru, I'm still surprised that you came all the way here to look at the entrance exam. Normally, you would wait until the sports festival to seek out, to already get new interns. So what changed? With then Ryukyu snapping out of her daze, looking at Izuku, saying, huh? Oh, sorry, eraser. I was just thinking. For some reason, this year just told me I should come to UA for the entrance exam. That's all. That's the only reason. And you don't need to worry. My sidekicks are taking care of my agency right now, so nothing to worry about. Within, Aizawa saying, all right, if you say so. As Aizawa looks more at the monitors, thinking, this year, I feel like I'm going to have more problem children to deal with than normal. With Ryuko couldn't help but stare at Izuku, almost like she's drawn to him entirely. With soon as then one of the teachers, basically being a chimera-looking creature, couldn't help but say that there's more to being a hero than just taking out robots and villains. As soon a scrawny-looking man in that of a yellow suit presses a button, and then something begins. As Izuku takes out another 1-point robot with ease, with Sue thinking, I think this is good enough points. I mean, I'm not trying to reach the top 10. I'm just trying to get enough points to make it into UA. And that's it. With soon, as Izuku was about to sheath the Excalibur, soon shaking begins to feel all across the practical exam area, with many of the other participants begin to feel it as well. With soon, Izuku began to notice that the sky begins to darken. As he soon looks up, he soon sees that it is the 0 Point robot, as it's so big that it's bigger than one of the buildings in the practice area. Within seeing this, everybody begins to freak out and begins to run away. Where soon, as for Izuku, he's saying, seriously? This is the 0 Pointer? I mean, it's big, but I think my old self is faced against bigger. Not only that, it doesn't look like it's anything special, but just a giant robot. That's it. With then thinking, I think I could probably take it out myself, but probably take too much time. And honestly, time is not what I have right now. With then Izuku was about to find more robots to take down and just head back to the gate and wait for the exam to end. With soon, he begins hearing somebody screaming for help. With then, Izuku noticed this as it being the brunette-haired girl from earlier that was fighting against a couple of robots as well. With soon, Izuku began thinking, but no way. Is no one going to help her? Heck, is any of the, examiners are going to save her as well? Come on! With then just waiting for any of the participants or examiners to come out and save the girl. With soon, Izuku saying, all right, fine. If nobody's going to do it, then I will. With soon, his eyes begin to glow. As they begin to glow that of a bright yellow light. With soon, he screams out, come, dragon within, Gilgamesh! Within, the golden aura from earlier soon erupts from Izuku's body. With now, he now turns into that of the silvered armor dragon of light. The supposed dragon king of kings, that being Gilgamesh, with soon his arms being crossed together. With then multiple blades begin to spin around Gilgamesh right behind him. With then saying, now, time to end this, you ignorant mongrels. With soon, the 0 Pointer notices the massive dragon in front of him, as it's not big enough as the 0 Pointer, but it's big enough to basically be taller than the buildings right next to it. But soon, many of the teachers in the monitoring room couldn't help but be surprised and shocked, with even Aizawa's eyes actually widening of shock as well. As for Ryukyu, she's literally downright, stupefied, as right in front of her is not a person with that of a transformation quirk like hers, but the very things that she read about as a little girl, the very thing that she spent almost her entire life, even to her adult life, fantasizing about, even taking her name from the very thing as well. Right in front of her was an actual dragon, saying, this is the reason why. This is why I was told to come here. With soon, the 0 Pointer was about to hit Izuku in his Gilgamesh dragon form. But soon, many small blades of light began to cleave through the 0 Pointer's arm, as it soon fell to the streets below. Before Gilgamesh flies up into the air, with soon saying, Pathetic creature. You're not even worth my true power. So for that, I'll just end you right here and now. With soon, a giant blade of light begins to appear right in front of Gilgamesh. With then soon, out of his crossed arms, he brings his left arm back before punching forward. As then the blade soon skewers the zero pointer's head right in the middle. With that, the zero pointer soon comes down as it stops moving and it's finally offline. With then soon right below the zero pointer as it being Uraraka, as the girl wasn't even touched at all. Surprisingly, even when the robot's arm that was shredded off its body didn't even hit her. With soon, Gilgamesh grabs onto the debris that Uraraka was under, slides his hands under her, and begins to fly her back to the entrance. With soon, time begins to end, with many of the participants heading back to the entrance as well. Notice the flying, shining dragon above them, with many basically in awe, while some are terrified. With then, Gilgamesh Izuku lowers himself to the ground, touching the solid concrete, as his face looks like that in disgust. With soon lowering Uraraka down to the ground gently before reverting back to his human form. With soon, Izuku couldn't help but say, wow, so that's what it feels like to fight in a dragon form instead of just getting used to it. I'm not gonna say it's quite a rush. With then everybody looking at the green-eyed boy, with soon Izuku saying, sorry if I scared any of you? With many of them completely caught off guard by this simple and kind-hearted answer from Izuku. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. Also, sorry if this video seems pretty damn long. I wanted to focus and explain on Izuku's, character, on how much it's really changed from the timid and nervous kid. He's still nervous, but he's not as timid as he used to be. He will stand up for himself if he needs to, and he's not afraid to speak his mind if he has to. But he hates to be put on the spot just in case. But when he is, and when he feels like he needs to defend himself, he will. So, hope you guys like this Izuku. Also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos when I upload on my main channel. Also, check out my Discord, my gaming channel, side channel, and my Patreon. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, finish it off, my girl.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!